Now that you're a few months removed from that whole journey, from the HSC,
Yeah.
what's changed, if anything, about the way you view Year 12? How do you look back on it now?
Looking back on it, like I guess it's a very in that when you're in that period, because now I look back on it, I'm like, wow, how did I have all of that motivation? Like it's a lot of motivation to wake up every single day and just, do papers, studying, and it's just the same routine. Um, but I think when I was in it, you're with your cohort, you're with your grade, and everyone's in the same boat. And because of that, you really like if you want to do well, right? You really I guess can do well if you have a mindset and if you have a goal. And I had um, a definitive goal, right? And I really wanted to do well. So I always used to reflect on that, look back on that, and I think like looking back now into Year 12, that was probably the thing that really got me through because obviously it's a time it's kind of lonely. We're all at home, lockdown. You're not with your friends at school. You're just at home and online and stuff. So you can still see them, but it's a very different environment working at home. So you have to have very internal motivation to keep going. And so yeah, looking at that, I think goals and the desire to just I guess finish, but I wanted to finish with satisfaction. I wanted to finish thinking, okay, I did my best in Year 12, and if you think about it, you're never going to do Year 12 again, like really, like unless you wanted to. But it's your time to shine. It's your time to show everyone like what have you learned from Kindy to Year 12, and like I guess you really want your marks to reflect that journey. Obviously, if you want to do well, then I guess that's one of the key things for me, just goal setting and having that motivation.
Yeah, it's a really nice way of looking at it as Year 12
Mm.
as a reflection of the whole journey, your whole academic journey. And
Yeah.
obviously that adds a bit of weight and pressure, but it's almost a good pressure to have in that, hey, I want this to reflect this whole career, my academic career
Mm-hmm.
to date. And
Yeah.
therefore I need to give it my all and know that I am proud of everything I've put on the table. What kind of goals did you have? You mentioned goals. What were your specific goals, if you can remember some of them? And what kind of systems did you have in place in terms of your study habits? Because you talked a lot there about internal motivation, but the reality is there's a lot of people who just don't have that internal drive. A lot of people are motivated by outside factors. So
Mm.
being in the classroom is really important for a lot of people, whereas some people are very self-motivated, self-directed, like you alluded to about yourself. What kind of systems did you have that actually went beyond motivation and they were more just a setup that gave you a framework, a structure to follow where you didn't need to be motivated every single day?
So in terms of direct goals, so I had an ATAR goal. I feel like everyone has an ATAR goal, but I definitely had that, and I had that up in front of me on the board. So I always used to mentally visualize like, oh, imagine if I actually got that. And by the end, like after the HC, I had a lot of self doubt. I was like, the HC was hard. Like as if I'm gonna get really like above 97, 95 even. I was really like doubting myself. So especially so this is just a side note, but maths, for example, like I didn't even get to complete the paper because I found the advanced paper, a lot of people found it really hard, right? So I'm like, that's going to pull me down, and there's all these things. But no, like I think we have to trust the HC process. So marking, alignment, scaling, moderation, everything, it ends up working out. And um, I think definitely like don't lose hope on your goals. I think I had just like specific goals for each subject. I had like specific marks that I wanted to get as well. But definitely like those things helped me because I always, yeah, I used to visualize and I used to imagine how would I feel if I received that. And I think it was just that was the biggest thing for me. And in terms of, every day, what kept me motivated, I actually I had a to-do list, every day. And I just wanted to get those things done. So that would make me feel good by the end of the day, right? And I think that is what kept me like motivated because that feeling of you've successfully completed the tasks of the day. It's like, okay, I can do this again tomorrow, and you kind of just keep going until your HSC. And in the last month, like in October, before because our HC was in November last year, but there's a different feeling and there's just a different motivation amongst I think Year 12s. It's like we're almost there and we just have to push so hard. So in that period of time, it was even more so. I guess everyone was more disciplined, more motivated, and everyone really had that clear-cut plan of what they wanted to do. And in saying that, we like I don't advise doing too many things in a day. Like really just keep it simple as in 2 subjects, do 2 subjects a day. Just trying to keep it simple and do what you can. And understands that obviously some days are going to be a lot more successful than others, and it's okay. You can pick yourself up and keep going, because not everyone can just keep going in one smooth on one smooth road. So it's just a matter of telling yourself that it's okay. Just try your best.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about the 2 subject a day thing. I think that's the perfect number, because if you do any more than that, there is a lot of fatigue and inefficiency that comes from switching focus between subjects, right? So every time you switch, you're going to take time to warm up and familiarize yourself with that subject, and that's lost time. But then also your brain's using different parts, and you're thinking of different areas now, so there is fatigue that comes with that. So I think 2's a great number. That's really good advice, especially when you're in that pre-HSC period of study. Just pick 2 subjects each day and map it out across 5 to 6 weeks. What are the 2 each day? And make sure that maps to your goals and how much you need to study for each subject.